Hello and welcome to the Sauce and Gravy channel. This is Johnny Mac, the gravy guy, and boy are you in for a real treat. I'm going to show you how to make a Hawaiian comfort food classic, a Loco Moco. Not the typical version, but the way that I like to make it, and I think you might enjoy it, so stay tuned. There are four main parts to this recipe. You have the hamburger steaks, you have the gravy, rice, and egg. Let's begin with the prep work for those hamburger steaks. And yes, they are called hamburger steaks. Dice half of a sweet onion, not too big, not too small. Remember, it's going in those steaks, so make it just right. Round up 3 garlic cloves, get a little smashy on that board with them. That'll help remove those skins. To mince the garlic, I'm gonna use my garlic press. I really love that thing. But if you wanted to get choppy on the board with these guys, go for it. If you wanna get strokey with the microplane, why not? Round up a mixing bowl and 1.5 pounds or 680 grams of 93% lean ground beef. It's what's for dinner. Drop in that half of a sweet onion. Add some breadcrumbs, 1/3 of a cup or 43 grams. Raid that spice rack for some ground mustard, 1 teaspoon. Add your 3 minced cloves of garlic, and I can hear you back there rummaging around, rifling through things, looking for a pencil and a piece of paper to write down all of these ingredients. Don't worry, I've got you covered. I'll put a list of the ingredients on my website, and I'll put a link in the comment section below. Run over to your fridge, grab an egg, and drop it in. Great work, you're almost done. Now it's time to add some of this stuff that nobody knows how to pronounce. But you know, that's okay. It's all about the taste, and this tastes pretty darn good. 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of what's it sauce. Delightful. Spank in some black pepper. And let's see what we have here. What? What in tarnation? A glove? Not in my house. Get that thing out of here. See these 2 things? They don't need no gloves. Dive in. Thank goodness we got that cleared up. Mix that ground beef. Make sure all of the ingredients are well combined. Outstanding work. Now it's time to form those steaks. You can make them big, you can make them small. Just grab as much meat as you like, pat it out, and then you're ready to roll. And I like to let my steaks rest for about an hour in the fridge covered. You don't have to do that, that's optional, but I find that it helps to marry those flavors. And you know what else I like to do? Have a little bit of a refresher. What's it sauce? This stuff. You can never get too much of it. Nice work, champ. Complete success. You knocked out those delicious hamburger steaks. Now it's time to move on to the next step to make this Loco Moco. This is the fun part. It's time to make that brown gravy. Start off with some light prep work. Round up your shrooms. I'm using an 8-ounce box of Baby Bellas. That's 227 grams. First things first, what is that? What are those black specks? What is that? This. Can anybody tell me what this is? You know, I don't know what it is, but I do know one thing. I do not want to eat it. If you like it and you want to eat it, well then you can skip this step. Washing the shrooms. The best way to do it is grab a bowl, put them in, a little bit at a time, shimmy them around, let all of that dirt and debris come off, pick them up, take a towel, and dry them off. It's also a good idea for you to grab each and every one of them and dry them off individually, removing any of that black stuff that you possibly see. Hey, kudos to you. You're doing a super job. Grab your trusty blade and your board and slice these mushrooms any way that you like. Next, you'll need 1 full sweet onion, medium size. Get choppy on that bad boy. I like to remove the ends and chop it lengthwise. All right, so the last bit of prep work for this gravy, remove the skin of 2 cloves of garlic. And if you want to chop it up, why not? Go for it. Brilliant work. Now it's time to throw everything together. Put a saute pan over high heat. Add about 1 tablespoon, 15 milliliters of vegetable oil. Any vegetable oil will do. Take those hamburger steaks out of the fridge, and once that oil is piping hot, put them into the pan. At this point in the gravy making process, you have a couple different choices. 1, you can cook the burgers right now until they're all the way cooked through. Or 2, give them a quick sear, cook them halfway through, and then finish them up later in the gravy. But no matter how you want to cook them, you definitely want to give them a good sear either way. That color, that's flavor, and you want that in your Loco Moco. So here's how I like to cook them. I give them a quick sear on high at first, turn down that heat to medium, and let them cook until they're almost done. Take them out, and I'll bring them back and let them cook all the way through in that brown gravy. And while these steaks cook, it would be a perfect time to smash that subscribe button. To become part of the Sauce and Gravy community, it's free, and you'll have access to a wide variety of sauce making tips and techniques. Way to go, you're really killing it. This Loco Moco's looking fantastic. Take those steaks out, put them to the side, cover them, keep them warm. We'll bring them back in a minute. So here we go. Turn that burner up to medium to high heat. Use the same pan that you cooked those steaks in. Don't clean it out. All of those bits and pieces of the steak, that's flavor. Add those mushrooms to it. And I'm using a nonstick pan, so I didn't add any additional oil or butter. I'm just using the residual fats that were left from cooking the steaks. If you happen to be using anything other than a nonstick pan, you might want to add some oil, heat it up, and then throw those mushrooms in. Once your mushrooms are tender and lightly golden brown around the edges, grab your 1 chopped sweet onion, throw it in. So cook these guys until they're tender and watch the heat. Just make sure that you don't burn anything. Whenever everything is cooked the way that you like it, add the 2 cloves of minced garlic and then cook it for about 30 seconds or so. Deglazing the pan is the next step. I like to use Madeira wine, 1/3 of a cup or 83 milliliters. I find that it really works well with this exotic Hawaiian comfort food. It brings a tiny bit of fruity caramel-like flavor to the sauce, and it's just absolutely outstanding. Reduce that Madeira down until it's nearly all gone, and then add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Turn your burner to medium heat, mix in that tomato paste, stir frequently, you don't want to burn it, and cook it for roughly about a minute. Make a well in the center of the pan and prepare yourself for a flavor bomb. Bacon grease, just a little, 3 tablespoons, 45 grams. That's not going to hurt anything, and it's going to add loads of flavor. Melt it down, and then add 3 tablespoons, 24 grams of flour. Holy moly, you're making a roux. Combine it with the bacon grease that's first, and then slowly mix it into all of the other ingredients and cook while stirring frequently for roughly about 2 minutes. And another ingredient that I like to use that's a little out of the ordinary, cayenne pepper. I'm going to put in 1/4 teaspoon. This will give the gravy a noticeable spicy flair. If you're not into the heat and want just a bit of flavor, add a dash. Quickly mix everything together, and then you're ready for the next step. Pour in 3 cups, that's 750 milliliters of beef broth. Grab a spatula, mix it all together. That roux and that tomato paste made everything thick, so just make sure that you work it. And look at what we've got here. It's what's it sauce. 1 tablespoon, 15 milliliters. Good, I didn't drink it all. And 1 tablespoon, 15 milliliters of soy sauce. Low sodium soy sauce, keep it healthy. Give it a 360, and then I've got one more personal touch I like to add to this. More Than Gourmet demi-glace. This stuff is gravy candy. If you'd like to see exactly what I'm using, I'll put a link in the description section below. The flavor that this brings to the gravy is absolutely mind-boggling. You gotta have it. Mix it in, and then it's time to bring back those delicious hamburger steaks. Check out these things. These are mammoth steaks. And yes, they are steaks. I know some people like to call them burgers, but hey, it's not a burger. This is a hamburger steak, and they are delicious. All right, you're smoking it. This is looking absolutely fantastic. Bring that sauce to a simmer. Once it starts to simmer, turn that heat down to low and cook it until it's as thick as you like. It's roughly going to take about 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure to occasionally flip those steaks and baste them throughout the reduction process. And while that gravy thickens up, it's a perfect amount of time to cook that rice and to fry an egg. Start off by washing the rice. You don't know where it's been or who it's been with. Drop it into a saucepan. I'm using 1.5 cups or roughly about 287 grams. Add the vegetable oil of your choice and crank that burner up to medium to high heat. Cook the rice for roughly a minute, stirring frequently until it becomes slightly translucent. Grab your water, 3 cups, 750 milliliters, pour it in. Bring the rice to a simmer, then turn down the heat, cover, and cook for 20 minutes. By the time it's done cooking the steaks, they should be cooked all the way through. Your gravy, it should be deliciously thick. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Give it a taste. Adjust the seasoning if necessary. Add some Hawaiian red Aloha salt. Spank on some pepper. And then let's check it out. Oh my, would you get a load of that? Big juicy hamburger steak dripping with flavor. That hearty, deep, rich, dark brown gravy loaded up with mushrooms and onions. This is comfort food at its best. The rice, it's done. Check it out. So there's only one step left for this Loco Moco, and then we can throw it all together. We have to fry up an egg. Wax on some butter to a nice hot pan. Round up an egg, and then drop it in. Nothing too complicated here, but it's always best to use a non-stick pan. It's a whole lot easier to cook an egg in. Break out that Hawaiian red Aloha sea salt again and season it up. Pepe, spank it on. That's the last piece of the puzzle for this Loco Moco. Now it's time for you to put it all together. You'll start off by throwing down a generous portion of white rice. Next, you'll load it up with that Hawaiian hamburger steak. Would you look at that, I'm telling you. And don't skimp on that gravy. Make sure to add a healthy portion. Top it off with that sunny side up egg. Garnish it with green onions, and for good measure, add some red pepper flakes. So that's my take on the Hawaiian comfort food classic, Loco Moco. Hope you enjoy. If you're looking for additional comfort foods, check out this loaded chicken Alfredo casserole. Why not try the Southwestern chicken spaghetti? Thanks for watching. Remember, it's just you, me, and the sauces. Keep whisking, y'all.
That is out of this world amazing.